I just have a food to take judgment?
Yeah, let me take it. You pay for it. Make sure he pays you. Can you do me a favor? Can you grab the bottle from me? Should we start? Right? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والجنة للموحدين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن اهتدى بهديه واقتدى بسنته إلى يوم الدين وبعد. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتاب العزيز بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا قاموا إلى الصلاة قاموا كسالى يراءون الناس ولا يذكرون الله إلا قليلا. وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بحسب من الشر أن يشار إليه بالأصابع في دين أو دنيا إلا من عصمه الله أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Alhamdulillah, we are starting a new class which is on the diseases of the heart. And his antidotes. We will study the core problem that we are facing. These are problems which are chronic and they need to be dealt with at a long-term process. These are not 1, 2, 3 steps that a person can say that I'm cured, because developing these bad habits and these diseases and these illnesses, it's been a while. We've probably been challenged with these problems since childhood, like the habit that we will be discussing today, or the disease we will be discussing today, which is shirk, the hidden shirk, riya, showing off, wanting people to know the good that you have, and the different types of showing off. There's the showing off of deen, the showing off of dunya, there's showing off in worship, there's showing off in pleasing people, just for getting your name out there in the public. So these are type of things that we have been victimized, or we are victims of these bad habits or these problems for a very long time. And while researching these topics, especially this one particularly, every time I was like nodding my head, like, wow, that's a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem. Like, we don't even see these as issues, But the more you magnify these things, the closer you look, then you realize really these are major issues that we need to deal with. The word riya is translated here as the hidden shirk. Basically something that we do to show people. Ra'a means to show or to see. Ara yuri means to have people see you, or to expose, to impress, And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word in the Quran, alam tara. Alam tara. Tara comes for 2 reasons in the language of Arabic. One reason that the word tara comes for is in the ta'ajjub an al-shay. When you are impressed, alam tara. When you are impressed by something really great, or you are warning someone from something very dangerous. So the Quran uses this word over multiple times, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil? Did you not see what happened to the people of the elephant? Meaning the amazement in it, and also the warning in it. The fact that they were destroyed by birds itself was amazing. أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِعَادٍ. Did you not see what happened to the people of Ad? إِرَمَ ذَاتِ الْعِمَادِ الَّتِي لَمْ يُخْلَقْ مِثْلُهَا فِي الْبِلَادِ. So you were told in the ayah, have you not seen it? Doesn't it amaze you that these people are much greater than you, bigger than you, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wiped them out? So, intabihu, also be aware that your existence, which is much smaller and much weaker compared to these people, is no challenge to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, the word is used a lot. Now, there are many definitions of showing off and hidden shirk. So we have one here that is defined by it's al-riya mushtaqun min ru'ya. It's taken out from the word seen. Wal-murad bihi, and the meaning of this will be idhar al-ibadah liqasd ru'yat al-nas, to appeal to people by worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and exposing your worship so people can see your worship, so they can praise you. فَيَحْمُدُونَ صَاحِبَهَا, and they can praise you. Like it is defined in English. Riya, a form of shirk that results from performing an act of worship while seeking the praise of other than Allah. Getting the people to praise you, to admire you, that is something that we don't even notice. This is in us. We want people to know this. We want people to say we were there. And if we're not there, we are afraid people are going to say, why weren't people are going to question us? Why were we not present? So we're doing it for people, not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ali radiallahu anhu says, there are 4 signs of a person who shows off in his worship or his dunya. Ali radiallahu, this is a very critical thing, so you might want to write this down. He said, لِلْمُرَائِ أَرْبَعْ عَلَامَاتٍ. For a person who shows off, who likes to perform an act of worship for the sake of people, not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will say these 4, you need to note these down. Number 1, يَكْسُلْ عِنْدَ وَحْدَةٍ إِذَا كَانَ وَحْدَةً. Number 1, when he or she is in isolation or solitude, or when they're alone, they feel lazy. They don't feel like worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then وَالنَّشَطَ إِذَا كَانَ فِي النَّاسِ. And they become energized when they're in the eyes of the public. They start to do activities, they start to clean up, they start to do this, here, I'm here, they're there. But when no one's in the masjid, they don't really pray. When everyone's there, they're ready to pray and show their loyalty to Islam and the loyalty to the community. And then number 3, يَزِيدُ فِي الْعَمَلِ إِذَا أُثْنِيَ عَلَيْهِ. They start to do more when they're praised. When people are praising them and in their faith, they start to do more. God, you did that last week, then you do it again. So they get energized by the praises of people. And number 4, وَيَنْقُصُ إِذَا ذُمَّ. They start to decrease their goodness of the acts of worship when they're criticized. When they're criticized, they're like, why am I, So either we're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the praises of people and the criticism of people should not affect our worship. So Ali radiallahu anhu says these 4 things. If these 4 elements are found in a person, majority of the time, it's not the thumb rule. Majority of the time, this person has the quality of showing off or doing it for others other than the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes? Yeah. Number 1, when he's alone or she's alone, they become lazy. Number 2, when they're in the public, they become active and energized. When the eyes of the people are watching you, I want to do more. And they do more when they're praised. And when they're acknowledged, people are praising them. Right? And they do less when they're criticized. They do less. And the Prophet ﷺ, he called this, إِنْ أَخْوَفُ مَا أَخَافُ عَلَى أُمَّتِي. The greatest fear that I have on my ummah is 2 things. 2 things. Number 1, the Prophet ﷺ said, is a shirk. And number 2, a shahwatul khafi, the hidden desire. The hidden shirk and the hidden desires. 2 things the Prophet ﷺ said, I fear in my ummah the most. Number 1, can you imagine the Prophet feared this? This was the biggest fear of the Prophet. Shirk. What type of shirk? The hadith of Prophet ﷺ very beautifully goes that Shaddad bin Aus was crying. أنه بكى فقيل له ما يبكيك. So people said to Shaddad radiallahu anhu, great Sahabi, why are you crying? فقال شيئا سمعته من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, something that I remember that I heard from the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. He said, what did you hear? فذكرته, I remembered it and it made me cry. It made me cry. سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول التخوف على أمتي الشرك والشهوة الخفي. Two things I fear the most about Ummah is that hidden shirk and the hidden desire. Now, what does this mean? Both of these things are hidden. You know, in the beginning, when you're young, small things mean a lot to you. You know, your little cars, your little house, or the little train set your parents got you, because this is all you have. So similarly, in a society that we live in, when people are showing off, we are also forced to keep up with that type of mentality. So we show off. We start with tasanna. We become this superficial personality. That's not us. We start to try to be arrogant, but that we're not arrogant. We try to show off. You know, maybe we're not really rich, but we try to act rich. You know, maybe we're really not so soft and humble, but we try to act humble at places. So we start to become this different personality. We're not that person, you know. So because the public is doing it, everyone's doing it, I have to do it too. Everyone's wearing Puma, I have to wear Puma. It's just so much pressure. Everyone's driving a Mercedes, I have to drive a Mercedes. Everyone's holding a Coach purse, everyone's wearing Armani, So now you're not doing it because you want to wear clothes, because you could just wear some, normal clothes from Express, but you're doing this because, you just want to show off. You just want to show off. Like there's this extreme level of pressure of other people wearing it. Now you have to do it. And if you don't do it, you feel like you're left behind. Now you're competing to show off with other people who are also showing off. And that becomes a society of a bunch of people of morality who are just showing off. And the person who's not doing it, it's like, don't hang around with us. So the Prophet ﷺ talked about this, And it's also this is the biggest fear of scholars. The biggest threat to scholars, pious people, after they have passed all levels, this speech is more dangerous for someone that's religious. This is why I don't know how to translate this into youth context, because everything Imam Ghazali was saying was basically bashing scholars. He's like, listen, if you're a scholar, you better watch out. Because if you have people sitting around listening to you, why are you saying this? Who are you impressing? What do you want? How much do you want? Are you doing it for money? Because the first three people to go to hell, first one is a hafiz, a qari, a mujahid who sacrificed his entire life, and a guy who gives charity. These are the first three people who go to Jahannam. Definitely after the kuffar. But the first Muslims who will be blazing in the fire of hell are not people who didn't learn the Quran or didn't give charity. These are the first three people who the hell will be kindled, the fire of hell will kindle with. And the reason why is Allah will ask him, why did you learn the Quran? Why would you be an imam? Why did you want to become a scholar? Allah, I'm going to teach people Islam. Liar, kadabta, ya kadib. Allah will call him a liar. Allah will call her a liar. What are you doing? Are you trying to fool Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So these are really critical issues that scholars are dealing with. Having followers. There were so many scholars, particularly Imam Ghazali. He left the world of fame so he can erase his name in society. He disappeared. People would, how we exert ourselves to become famous? Pious people exerted themselves to defame themselves. They became famous not because they wanted to, because they were talented. And the world gave them fame. But they left that luxury in the fame to become humble in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the two biggest fears of the Prophet ﷺ, one is what we're talking about today. And if you're not worried about it, that means you have no interest of rectifying yourself. And if you think you are, protected, and you have the shield around you that I don't have this problem, no. This is a problem even great scholars are always worried about, because the shaitan is working on everyone. Here we are. The Prophet ﷺ said, so Shaddad says, Ya Rasulullah, min ba'di? Do you fear that your ummah will do shirk, associate partners to God after you die? The Prophet ﷺ said, no, that's not my worry. I know my ummah, the people who become Muslim will not worship. أَمَا إِنَّهُمْ لَا يَعْبُدُونَ شَمْسًا وَلَا قَمَرًا وَلَا حَجَرًا وَلَا وَثَنًا. Listen to what he said. The Prophet ﷺ said, I know my ummah, it's not stupid, to worship the sun, to worship the moon, to worship a stone, to worship some animals or some, makhluk. But وَلَكِنَّهُمْ يُرَاءُونَ بِأَعْمَالِهِمْ. But they will show their worship to people to impress them, not to impress Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's my fear. The shaitan will work on them. And they will come to certain levels that they will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to impress the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the shahwat al-khafi, to complete the hadith, the hidden desire. Prophet ﷺ said, and yusbi ahadun sa'iman, a person will wake up in the morning fasting, and then the desire of eating, the desire of drinking, the desire of having a relationship with his family, this will take place. All of a sudden he will have this desire. He will purposely, intentionally break her fast or his fast just to complete the desire that came to her heart or his heart. These are the two worries. And these are things which are, the last part that I said, the Prophet ﷺ said, a desire lawfully, a lawful desire. A person having a relationship with his wife, it's lawful outside or at night of Ramadan, or her husband, but to do something unlawful, like to do zina, to do acts which will break your fast, which are haram, which are beyond haram, and doing those while fasting is even greater of a sin. So may Allah protect us from these acts. So these are things that the Prophet ﷺ was really concerned about, and he said that this was going to be my biggest fear. And Sahaba radiallahu anhu would cry. Particularly those Sahaba who became famous, like Mu'adh ibn Jabal. He's sitting next to the grave of the Prophet ﷺ. Umar radiallahu anhu says, "Ma yubkika ya Mu'adh?" Why are you crying? And he says the same thing. Shaykh and Sami'tu Rasulullah ﷺ. I remember I heard something from the Prophet ﷺ. The person who's resting next to Mu'adh ibn Jabal, I heard something from the Prophet ﷺ. So what did you hear? He said, "Inna yasir liya'i shirkun." Even a little molecule, an atom of showing off is shirk, is associating partners. Because when you do an action, you're praying, but you're doing this in the back of your mind also to tell people that how pious you are, or to show the community that you're present in Taraweeh, or you're present for Qiyam al-Layl. That's me, I'm here, If you're doing this with this intention, Allah on the day of Judgment will say to this person, you know what? Go to that person you did this for and ask him for the reward, and that person will be thrown to the fire now. Matter of fact, when someone does actions for the sake of the creation, to please other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doesn't matter how many good actions this person has, the Hajj and Siyam, but once this person showed off, this is enough for a person's destruction. This is why Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani rahimahullah says, the greatest sin after associating partners to Allah, from the kaba'ir is riya, to do worship to please the creation of Allah, other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To please someone else in the worship of Allah. The reasons, and I'll go by and I'll tell you the reasons why that's a very dangerous thing. And the causes, because we're going to talk about the causes of riya. What are the causes of a person showing up? What makes a person become this type of behavior? What leads into such characteristics of showing off, being able to impress people other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Number one, it's very evident, weakness of faith. That's the first problem. Person's faith, if believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is watching me, I don't need to show anyone else, then this person has no problem of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether someone's watching him or strong faith, I'm going to worship him. This is why Siddiq, Abu Bakr was Siddiq, because he was faithful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everyone has the ability, or everyone is vulnerable to slip from the straight path, except one person. The shaitan said, "Oh Allah, I will deceive everyone that will be a Muslim, or everyone that will be." The shaitan said, one person I can't. Those who are sincere, I can never deceive them, because they're always loyal. They're not doing it to impress anyone. They don't want any money. They don't want any fame, no name, no gain, nothing. They just want to worship you. So not even shaitan can distract those who are sincere. So that's something very, very interesting, is the fact that number one, the first problem is the weakness of faith. Because that's the root of all good and evil. If you have strong faith, you have strong salah, you have good character, you have generosity, you have forgiveness, you have ability to impress Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the open, in the hidden. But when you have weakness of faith, the eyes are looking at wrong, the ears are listening to wrong, the hands are touching wrong, the tongue is speaking wrong, everything you're doing is wrong because the engine is corrupted, the heart is corrupted, the faith is corrupted. You know? That's the core. أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ ضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا. Now Allah says in the Quran, do you not see the example of a tree? كَشَجَرَةٍ طَيِّبَةٍ. When a tree is rooted deeply strong, that's your iman. Then the roots that come out, and the trunk that comes up, the roots and the branches, the fruits all come out favorable. Similarly, the actions come out equally. And then, number two, another issue of having this quality of worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for someone else's sake is arrogance. You know, always showing off. Takabbur. Having this quality of showing off and having this in your ability of worship and showing off, and you have this, you think you're better than someone and you're doing things to show others. You know? So number two is takabbur. And number three is to the fact that you are looking for acceptance. You're looking for acceptance in the society. You don't have what you want. You want people to admire you. You know, there could be an inferiority complex that you want people to recognize you. You're here. You're religious. You give charity. You know, you want to become a doctor because you want to give charity, so people can call you generous. So that's all showing off. You want to become a doctor for the sake of helping the Muslims, so Allah can be pleased with me. Allah can be pleased with me, you know? Because God doesn't, like, people don't run this masjid, you know? Allah runs this masjid. What happens if everyone dies? Who's going to run the masjid? Allah will run the masjid, Allah will bring people that run the masjid. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. But we have to understand our intentions need to be fair. We can't lie to ourselves that I'm becoming a physician, but I'm not bringing Dhuhr in school. You're not becoming a physician for the sake of Allah. You know, and if you got money in your pocket and you're becoming arrogant, you did not learn it or earn it for the sake of Allah. You know, so you're not being honest with yourself. You're playing